Good evening, everybody, and welcome to more CALLOUS Invitational 5 content. This is a match that I didn't know was going to happen. Neither one of these guys could be bothered to communicate with me about scheduling, so I had no clue that they were going to play on Thursday night. But lo and behold, on my drive home from work, they were indeed playing this match. That, of course, unfortunately means that I was not able to catch it live, but it's been not even an hour in real time after it finished, and I am on the case. I am going to get this narrated. We've got ourselves a round 3 lower bracket. All matches in round 3 are lower bracket. Pairing between two champions. Little Johnny Jewel, that's Cowboy Dan. He is the CALLOUS Invitational 2 champion, and Tamahome, a former ADV Cup champion. I don't know if these guys have played before or not. I can't imagine, other than this tournament, where they would ever really cross paths. But like I said, a battle of two champions, and one of them will be eliminated. Can't wait to see how it plays out. Here is game one in their best of three. Dan, Little Johnny Jewel on the bottom, Metagross, Tamahome playing as Tamahome on the top with Immense. And that's going to be an immediate mash and a raise on his counterpart. Protect just in case. And he goes mash again as opposed to switching over to lefties, or Earthquake rather, but he seems to not be a choice band variant. Earthquake comes back from Tama, and he pulls it back to Dugtrio. That's pretty risky. He must have known that an Earthquake was coming. If he's wrong, you lose the Dugtrio there, but makes the calculated risk, gets it right. Wow, but fails to kill the meta with a stab EQ. That's got to be a jolly not super invested Dougie. It's got to be loaded with special defense and max speed or whatever to somehow not get that kill. That damage was pathetic. 64% with the stab, presumably choice band EQ. Something felt wrong about that. I mean, I know it's a bulky defensive meta with protect, but man, that didn't do a lot. Dan's also going to get his Celebi picked off with a hidden power from the Ment. So, I mean, this is really not going so well for Dan. He's off to a pretty poor start, though he does gain some momentum here by blocking Leech Seed with sub with an already boosted Coon. So maybe now with a crit or a freeze or whatever, he can get back in it if he can beat this Lax. About a third with Surf, and of note, no Sand right now, so the bulk is going to be that much harder to punch through. 37% now, and a return, fine. As long as he doesn't get boomed on, the Coon will win this 1v1. And he does not get boomed on, it's just a return. So Dan looking to get himself on the board. Ice Beam there, just in case, good enough. So Dan now behind 4-5, but instantly makes it 4-4. Magneton is outsped and killed. Crit probably doesn't matter there. Hidden power is a lot. Ice Beam kills the Mens at least twice over. And Dan has somehow taken the lead. This Coon seems to be a Pokemon that Tama does not have a good answer for. He does get a Leech Seed off, but man, is it probably too little too late. So much damage has already been done from this Coon. Starmie is going to stabilize Tama a little bit and get us back to a 3-3 in a moment. And best thing Coon could do on the way out is a 41% Surf, which is certainly better than nothing. But it does finally die, but man, did it ravage Tama in the meantime. There's a crit Ice Beam, but that's not going to save him from the 4x weak Mega Horn. Or the 2x weak, but 4x weak on this Pokemon, Celebi. That's going to be outsped and killed. And that's going to be the concession from Tama. Dan was not looking good in this game whatsoever. Found himself down in a very quick 4-6 hole. But man, did that Coon do enormous work. It killed 3 Pokemon and damaged another. It looked like the kind of Pokemon that Tama's team just couldn't handle. And sometimes you get matchups like that. Right poke at the right time. Dan takes game 1 and puts Tama, the former ADV Cup champion, 1 game away from elimination with an unexciting 1-2 record in CALLOUS Invitational 5. Will that be the case? Here is game 2. Dan's on the bottom again, and Tama's on the top. They both have Zapdos. They both stay in. And T-Wave full power respectively. Good opening turn for Dan. Now Tama gets his T-Wave off, which I'm sure is what he wanted to do the first time, but he is behind in the damage race. They exchange T-Bolts, but Dan is not only faster, but also healthier. Here's another T-Bolt, and Tama gets his off as well, but pending full power, Tama loses Zapdos here. And indeed, the Zapdos goes down. Early lead, 6-5, favoring Cowboy Dan. Here's T-Tar now. Doesn't pursuit on the way out. Immediately DD's up, staring down Meta. +1 Earthquake and Mash, respectively. But Mash, unlike the Earthquake, is going to kill. And Dan furthers his lead, now 6-4. Hydro Pump there. Man, would have that been a disaster had he missed. He would have gotten blown up on, but it connects. Tama gets back a little bit, brings us to a 5-4. Metacham, as Calm Mind happens, that Brick Break obviously not Band-Aid, as we're going to see by the sand here, or it would have done way more. Hydro Pump misses, though, for Tama at a bad time, and that makes him eat another Brick Break. I'm not sure if Hydro Pump kills here or not. I would assume that it does, but he better connect with it, and indeed he does. Metacham goes down, leaves us in a 4-4, keeping in mind that Dan Zapdos is low and paralyzed. Oh, wow. Kuhn outspeeds Houndoom, and Dan concedes. What was that game? 12 turns, and he doesn't even show his last two pokes. Man, is he pulling a Golden Sun on us? What is that concession? His last two can't handle a 13% +1 Kuhn? That's wild. He doesn't have anything at all in the back that can either survive one hit from the damn thing or just outspeed it and kill it. I can't imagine what the hell his last two would be for that to be the case. Like a really slow, like a Wishmance or something with no speed investment, and I mean, what's the Houndoom making way for? A Lax? That would have been fine here, or... Man, I have no clue what the last would have been for Dan to make that concession the right call. That's wild to me. I can't believe that. Dan was really ahead in this game, and then just on turn 12, he's apparently lost. I don't understand the whole series so far. Tama was looking so good in game 1, early lead, 6-4, lost. And game 2, Dan looking so good, early lead, 6-4, lost. So I have no clue. I guess we'll go to a game 3 and see how that goes. See if one of these guys cannot blow a 6-4 lead. But I am truly puzzled by this concession. What the hell could the last two pokes have been? Like I said, like a really slow, like a Wishmance or something? Sure, that's one thing that I can think of. What's the other thing? Is it like a Magneton or Claydol or something? Ugh. I mean, even if it's Claydol, you can gamble on missing Hydro Pump. I really, truly cannot think of what the last two would be for Dan, for this to not be a premature concession, for him to not be able to either take one hit or fish for a Hydro Pump miss or outspeed and kill this Coon. I'll have to ask him after the fact, but I'm truly surprised by the concession here. Either way, it sends us to a decisive Game 3. Either CALLOUS Invitational 2 champion Cowboy Dan or ADV Cup champion Tamahome will be eliminated in this game. So let's find out. I switch the sides again for continuity. Dan, Little Johnny Jewel on the bottom for the third and final time. Tama on the top. They both led Tower, but then we have differing choices here with a Meta and a Fori respectively. That becomes a Moltres on a Fori, and a Lair of Spikes comes down. Now Breloom sneaking in, and yep, that was probably a Bliss anticipation. Good play there for Dan. He's going to get a free attack or Spore off as he pleases. And he misses an opportunity. Had he gone Brick Break or Focus Punch there, that would have killed the T-Tar with almost no punishment, unless you're thinking Tama has a Dugtrio, which, upon seeing this Venusaur, I'm now almost positive that he does not. I believe this is the very well-known linear team. Well, the last two would be Swampert and Aerodactyl. I know Tom is very fond of this team. He used this against me in SPL 2 years ago and beat me with it. I believe that's what we're looking at here, and Dan is certainly very familiar with this team as well and probably already knows what he's up against. So, Venusaur did get a Sleep Powder off on the opposing Tower, so Tower for both players are asleep. Tama going to stay in and get cute here, eat a Flamethrower. I'm thinking that he stayed in there because he thought Dan might double back on the Breloom to catch Blissey, so I think Tama was playing around that, but Dan simply makes the straightforward play and Flamethrowers, and Tama loses his Venusaur, and he even laughs at himself in the comments like, what am I doing here? Anyhow, Dan has the lead once again, so it's going to be... Dan's been ahead for a lot of this series, to be honest, but it's kind of like a deceptive on-paper lead, because, I mean, again, if you look at the actual Pokemon, some of the things are banged up. Fori not in great shape for Dan. Both players have a sleeping Pokemon, and now Meta is going to catch a T-Wave on the way in. Mash and Counter is going to completely kill the meta, so the lead for for Dan rather, is gone as Tama catches up and leaves us in a 5-5. And now Dan with the balls to Focus Punch into the Blissey there, which was a great play. I mean, he might not have had a choice. We've seen Spore Focus Punch. This might be the sub-seed set as the last two moves, and he was simply bluffing that he had the ability to actually attack there with Sky Uppercut or Brick Break or whatever. But yeah, he made the Focus Punch into the Bliss, and he got a nice little chip on Pert there, 52%. Now, granted, Pert's gained some lefties since then. He's pretty healthy again now, back up into 61% in the green. But it was still a good play. And the lefties continue here, so the Pert real annoying for Dan. Presumably Moltres has HP Grass, and I mean, it's probably a special tower for Dan as well, since it's paired with Fori, so that might also have HP Grass, but it's asleep at the moment. So for now, the Swampert is quite annoying for Dan. We end up now with Fori on Fori, which is a pretty good opportunity for Dan to get some lefties back. Tama going to start playing aggressively. He goes for Earthquake, 15% to his counterpart. Dan goes for Spin, and over-predicts and goes Spin again. That's going to let Tama get a spin off, but it's more lefties for Dan. No spikes for either one, but the much healthier Fori for Dan. However, he sneaks Moltres in on Earthquake, which is perfect. That's going to force the Fori out for Dan, and he even completes the sequence perfectly by doubling back to Loom into the Blissey. So very well played by the Cowboy. He does have an immediate attacking move. Brick Break, not Sky Uppercut, interestingly, so is really worried about the 90% accuracy of Sky Uppercut. Does not deem the extra power boost to be worth it. The possibility that he might randomly miss sometimes in an important situation. So the Brick Break landed, but it didn't do that much. And now Loom again is going to come in on Blissey. And it's going to come in on a T-Wave. Good prediction there for Tama. Bold enough to do that and not just hit the panic button and go for soft-boiled. That will largely cripple the Breloom going forward, though he does get a Focus Punch off on Tama's Swampert here. Whether or not Brick Break kills after he gets lefties here, I'm not sure. But Tama, again, playing boldly and aggressively. Goes for the Ice Beam there. Does not go for the obvious Protect. Now there's an Earthquake. That's going to kill the Fori. Tama now with the lead, 5-4. And he still has his unrevealed. Well, just kidding. But I was going to say we all know what it is anyway. It is the Aerodactyl. We all knew that for quite a while. Here is a very well-known team. And he opts for the Rock Slide, which is immediately scouted and protected against. But even now, knowing that, Dan doesn't have a great switch for it. Opting for this team without Swampert is a risk, and indeed, Rock Spam at this point seems very difficult for him. He fodders off his sleeping T-Tar, and now the Breloom is going to come in. It's still paralyzed from before. Very tempting for Tama to go for the Paraflinch there, but he restrains himself and pulls back. I think a lot of players would have just gone for it there, but Tama takes the safe route. He blows up with Fori on Moltres, which is obviously a favorable trade, and Tama now in complete command of this battle. It is only the Blissey and the paralyzed Loom remaining for Dan, as Tama has 4 pokes, including the very dangerous Aerodactyl. This was close until it wasn't, it felt like. Wasn't sure who was going to win this, and Tama found a way to break this game wide open, looking extremely likely at this point that Tama takes this. Not over just yet, but everything gonna have to go right for Dan in order to get back in this. Haven't actually seen the Blissey's last move, but it has to be Ice Beam, and it must find freezes basically on cue, or Dan is going to lose and be eliminated. Even with the critical hit there that he was fishing for, it doesn't do enough. It's only 57%, and he shows last move Mach, which, if not for the Protect, maybe kills the Pert there, but now comes up short, 14%. GG's being said by both players, but the concession not coming in. Dan is going to need perfect timing with his freezes, if he even has Ice Beam, to pull this game out. He gets a soft-boiled off on the Protect turn. Dan needs to play perfectly and get lucky. Killing the other Bliss, basically impossible unless he freezes right now. He does have Ice Beam and he gets a crit, but he doesn't find the freeze. That soft-boiled may end it. Really, really needs to not let another soft-boiled get off or we're really done. And that, I think, is the game right there with the soft-boiled. I think now, even if the freeze were to come, Tama can pretty easily PP stall this other Bliss out. Tama playing this correctly. A lot of players would mindlessly click T-Wave here, but Tama correctly is not clicking T-Wave because he doesn't want to give Blissey full para turns for Dan, which would be a turn in which it doesn't use PP. Tama understands that he can PP stall out, and that's his path to victory here, so he doesn't actually want to give Dan turns where he could just skip a turn and not use PP, which is a heads-up play that, again, a lot of players wouldn't make. They would just mindlessly T-Wave here. Tama is instead opting to hit counter over and over again, knowing damn well that it does nothing because it forces Dan to use PP each and every turn and doesn't give him any other option. And Dan does, in fact, see the writing on the wall. He's going to pack it in. Both of them very polite here in the end of game chat between them. Thanks, man. Was a pleasure, says Tama. Definitely, and good luck in the rest, says Dan. Two gentlemen here, two class acts, but only one of them can remain in the tournament. It's going to be Tamahome eliminating CALLOUS Invitational 2 champion Cowboy Dan. A weird set. Like I said, game 1, Tama winning 6-4, then losing. Game 2, Dan winning 6-4, then losing on turn 12 somehow, and I still have no clue what these last two pokes were in the back for Dan to concede here. I must know. I'm so curious. Game 3, seemingly the best and closest of them. At the end, it actually wasn't that close. It would have been a 4-0 had this played out for Tama. But this game was close until it wasn't. It just came down to the mid-game plays, and when it really mattered, Tama got the better end of it. Tama just outpredicted him and made the plays when it counted and earned himself the win here. This is a pretty clean game, not a lot of hacks, just Tama played better and got the W. Not too much to say. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Decent set, like I said. Two champions playing relatively early on in the tournament, round 3. Always sad to see one of these guys, both of whom I like quite a lot as individuals, go out this early. But it is the nature of the beast, and Dan is going to be done with a 1-2 record. Tamahome going to be 2-1 now and continue on in the lower bracket. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and of course, way more content from this tournament and from round 3 still on the way. Hit the thumbs up button if you did enjoy it. Leave a comment. Tell me what the hell Dan's last were. I really don't know, and I must know. And I will see you guys in the next video.